Hello there, and welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We hope everyone's settled in and having a great day because we're about to have a blast. We've got some awesome guests on the panel tonight. You can find the links to their channels in the description below, so be sure to check them out and see what they're all about. I sure do hope that you've gone to the bathroom already, everybody, because the show is about to begin. Take it away, Flippin' Rook.
Shall we begin?
So it begins. And now it begins. So it begins.
And so it begins.
Shall we begin?
Shall I begin?
Shall we begin? Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
All right, we are back, everybody. Welcome to the Fandom Collective YouTube channel, and we shall begin, as Crixus so boldly says. Today, we're doing, we just did one on Sunday, which we don't normally do anymore, so we're doing two this week, pretty much. And so number two, we got our special guest, Mara Jade, and another surprise guest, James Clark, because we're going to be showing something that he did for us in just a little bit as well. But first off, again, what's your name again, my co-host?
My name is Bill. Bill Jones.
Build out? I got you. All right. No.
Yeah,
Just kidding. How's it going, man?
Out. I need my money.
Yes. Or Fandom Ghost Flippy. I like that.
Yeah.
A little wordy on that one. FGF. There you go. That's good.
Yeah.
And then we've got the James Clark. What's up, man? The artist.
Hello, my good friends. Hail the Phantom Collective.
Hail, buddy. Good featuring good buddy of ours. And yep, doing great, pal. I like that stuff in the background there. Looking great. Looking great.
Thank you. It's my own work.
All right, heck yeah. And then we got our special guest, the Jade Shadow, or Mara Jade. What's up, Mara?
Oh, nothing much really. Like I was talking in the back room before we went live that I lapsed into a mini coma after suffering an aneurysm, covering a CBR article today. But woke up in time to be on this live stream.
Oh yeah, well we appreciate you being able to pull out of that coma there and being able to do this with us today because that's CBR articles can be a bitch. That is for sure, especially ones like this.
I completely missed something. Like I thought you really did have an aneurysm for a second.
I think I actually did feel one come on while I was making the video. So.
Yeah.
An official diagnosis is there.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll briefly cover that. We don't want to run through her a second wind of a aneurysm or anything, so that'll just be a brief touch. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to talk a little bit about some of DC's stuff, not just their comic things, but a little bit about DC's future, because lately it seems like I used to think that I can kind of guess where they're going to go with their stuff, can go steady, but I don't freaking know anymore based on what they've done by now. And celebrities, man, like every day you see something kind of weird about celebrities, and you go, well, where there's one good act that somebody does, there's like four more that do something crazy. And so they, I think it's worth touching up on a bit. And if we have time, we'll talk about some fan reactions to things, more so to how people react to reactions from fans, or how much they focus on them being issues or the positives of communities and about media and film and stuff. So with that, I'm going to say hello to the chat. What's up? Fallon was here a little while ago. What's up? Fallon Reacts. She is, are we announcing what she's doing yet?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to announce that for everybody?
Sure. The Phantom Collective and Fallon, who is also a team member, she had an idea about doing some podcasting. And so we are starting a new podcast, which we will be airing the very first one, I believe, Friday on Anchor. So y'all stay tuned for that. And also we are going to be adding it to the Patreon only video stuff also, and that'll be, what's today, Wednesday? So it'll be Wednesday. Yeah. So exclusive content coming up, and Fallon's been on it.
Exactly. You were gonna say Fandolin?
No.
That's all good. Yeah, she's working hard in the background. We appreciate it big time. And what's up, Mongo's Big Thanks, another patron member, always here, Always good to see you. We got James Clark, who's also on the panel down here, and we'll see people running in. I know that we're doing the show a little bit later than normal, and this is going on with the Merry Mayhem show, so that's all good if people are split between. That's all righty. Before we get into the actual topics, going to do a patron shout-out to everybody. So our patron list is Mongo's Big Thinks, Thomas Gilkey, or we like to call him the Gilkinator lately. And then we got Lady Tariel, Culture Casino, The Atlantean, Angelus Draven, Inside the Holocron, Wilk Report, New Comic Book Normie, James Clark, Douglas Nelson, and our newest one, Rev Kev. Heck yeah, we're going to be trying to get a little animation together to better list that off, so it's not just me listing it off every time to make that a little more interesting. But yeah, and welcome. Speaking of the devil fan scene, what's up, buddy? It says sub to James Clark. Yep, good boy posting the links down there.
Yep.
Appreciate it. All right.
Scene.
So, Flip, we received some art from James Clark recently. Is that right? You got that by you?
I do. Sorry, I'm just responding to. Yep, and gonna get this out.
Nice.
This is actually my grandfather's knife. And what's really cool about it, man, is it's got an eagle made out. I mean, this is all integrated, and from World War II era. It is a beast. I am not kidding. It is all. That's real brass. And it's got laser etching in. I don't know if you can see the laser etching. I don't know what that says.
A little bit.
And then on the other side, it has a cowboy right here on a horse. Can you see it?
It's on. Yeah, see, it's to the other side. But I got you. I saw it.
Yeah. And he's catching a pony or whatever.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there's two of them. Okay. Pony and a cowboy.
This thing is sharp. Very sharp. Anyway, I'm just proud of it. You know, it's my grandfather. So we're going to open this from James Clark and hopefully not, see a dismembering of Flipster.
Right. Well, let's see an old man. Let's watch an old man struggle to open up a package.
It was too easy. I don't think I needed this knife, so my bad.
Yeah. I've never seen that. You need that to open up like a toy because they always like jam pack those suckers into anything.
Yeah. I actually have a boomer story to tell about my dad that happened like literally yesterday.
Well, while he's getting that out, feel free.
Okay. I'm like having dinner with my family. He first he emailed me and my sister a link to like this book on Amazon that he wants to order, and he asked for his help, and I'm wondering what he needs help with, if he needed me to order it on my account or whatever. And then he's like, I'm trying to use this gift card your brother gave me, but all you can do is scan it. And I'm thinking, well, that doesn't make any sense. You should be able to type the code in even on your desktop.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hold on, I'll get the card and I'll show you. So he goes and gets it, brings it to show my sister and me. And I'm like, well, Dad, maybe if you took it out of the envelope, you could get the code. And I'm like tearing this envelope. I tear the top off the Amazon envelope. To pull the card out, pull the strip off where the code goes, and like, here you go. That's the code. He looked at the barcode and thought that's what you had to put in.
Oh my God!
Amazon. And I'm like, no, that's not the code. Here's the code right here.
We'll have moments like that someday. I'm sure.
So my mom's sitting there going, "Don't you ever make fun of me again?" And I'm like, "No, Mom. You might bring about Skynet, but you at least know how to use a gift card. I will give you."
Right. Going back to the basics. That was great.
All right. This is a painting from James Clark. He has sent to us, the Fandom Collective. And I'm going to put it right up here. I'm going to frame it and everything. But looks like it's got Fanzine and Kung Fu Flip there. He's got a Havana. Hold on. It says James Clark, Havana James. There's Fanzine down there. And that's you, Rookie, up at the top. I guess right of your screen.
Yep. No, I think is that supposed to be the Jester, or is that a Subway hat on top? I can't tell.
I
think that's supposed to be the athletic one. Yeah.
Jeff Buffer.
Jeff.
Heck yeah.
We got the Animal Collective right there. It's pretty awesome. It's amazing painting, man. It really is.
Nice.
I'm glad you like it.
And all the color in it's very vibrant too.
I enjoy doing it.
You're an amazing artist, sir, and you took some time and you really put some effort into this, and you've always supported us. Just thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You guys, I appreciate what you guys do for myself and a lot of other great channels out there, and you got a great thing going, and I'm glad I could be a part of it. So
We're glad you can join us with this, man, on this journey, and we appreciate the poster big time. I can't tell how long that took. That I wanted to say that was almost. If you were to ask me, is that hand drawn or digital? I would guess digital, but I would say painted too. Was it painted?
Yeah.
Everything I hand paint in acrylics.
Nice.
It's pretty big.
It's gonna look good up on your wall there, Flip.
Yeah, I'm gonna frame it and put it up there. And then I'll have to send it to you, and you can have it for a while.
Right. Well, I don't know. My posters. I don't know. I don't know if my wall has much room. I literally filled my walls with posters just to fill in space. So I bought posters of random stuff.
Yep, James, you left out the hot chicken here, man.
You need one with the booty.
You have to add one later.
Yep.
Awesome, man. I'm just kidding.
That'll be the next painting, right?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
There we go. And hail Snowda Music and Entertainment in the chat. What's up? Thomas Gilkey's dropping by. What's up, my friend? Alrighty. So back to the business here. So Jay, so we'll start with the 300 thing to get that out of the way so that it doesn't have to, give Mara a headache with any of that. Let's see here. I guess I can pull it up so everybody can see as well.
Yeah.
There we go. CBR. I feel like, it's been going around quite a bit today, and I'd recommend checking out Mara's video on this as well. So we're just going to briefly cover it, and they are basically saying, "Hold on, gotta get some my reading glasses out because I can't read nothing." So there we go, prescription sunglasses, folks. There we go. All right, there we go. So basically, they do acknowledge that it is. That the film and the comic are fictionalized accounts of the legendary Battle of Thermopylae, which took place in 480 BC. Yeah, I think that's right. During the Persian invasion of Greece, the second Persian invasion. And in the battle, 300 Spartan soldiers led by King Leonidas held off the Persian army for 3 days in the narrow coastal pass. It's the comic and film's oversimplification of the Spartans and the Persians that forms the basis of the narrative's problematic nature.
She's complaining it's a comic book, so it's not exactly going to delve too deeply into the history of the Spartans or the Persian. And she even writes in that paragraph, it's a Persian invasion. And then down below it, a little bit down below it, she equates how the Spartans react to how we react to immigrants.
Jeez.
Right.
You'll see it in the paragraphs. And I'm like, you do realize this is an invasion, right? Like right here, the false notion that it's right to fear immigrants, especially immigrants of color.
Right. As they literally, I think they skipped the part where they showed up to the Spartans' doorstep with like a dozen conquered kings' skulls in a stack going like, we just want some of your earth and water. We want to come in here. They weren't saying, we want, nothing but peace. They were literally offering to take over their kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yes. And then, it's racist. It's racism. Particularly because the Spartans are depicted as white, able-bodied men. And granted, this is ancient Greece. They're not exactly going to be white.
Were there full-on black Spartans back in the day?
No,
I don't know.
No. But then again, I also pointed out that Persia is around where modern day Iran is. So it's like, and what they look like. They're not exactly white, so it's like you can't exactly.
Right, it's not even a skin color thing; it's just a regional thing, pretty much. Which actually, back in those days, I'm sure that where you come from was kind of important, based on how people would interact with you. If you come from this land, are you poor piss crap scum, or are you a little more respectable with your nation or cultural history or something. I mean, the way they depict it in like Spartacus kind of goes along those lines of they don't care where your skin is, but where you come from is where they'll insult you.
Pretty much.
If not.
Mm-hmm. And also that the Persians, a lot of the Persian army and so forth, were slaves. So,
the leader's proud of that. He's like, I'd kill half all my men to, do whatever. And it's like, oh no, that's not how you do it. Don't know how being a leader that wants to be on the front lines is horrible compared to one who wants to chill in the back. And like literally behind, if they just sort of pan down slightly, tilt down a little bit, there's like 100 people holding up that gold platform.
Yeah,
at least.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And Leonidas says, we're like a free society or something like that. And I'm like, which would be true because in a way they were freer than those under the Persian Empire. It was like Greece wasn't exactly perfect as far as the demographics and things like that, but at the same time, it's like I would rather live as a Spartan than under King Xerxes.
Right, yeah, because they're not like freedom, like in quotes, kind of. There's issues like they throw babies off buildings or off the cliffs if they don't think they're good. They throw the kids out in the wild at a certain age to grow up or die, pretty much. Like they beat the crap out of them with stuff to make them stronger. Like there's things people could argue, but yeah, it's a much freer society. Slipster, you got any comments you want to do on this?
I mean, really, I follow what you guys are saying, and I really agree. It's a little excessive, very SJW-esque. I don't know why they suddenly decided to attack this particular movie, but if it's not this one, it will be another one very soon, just as sure as what was the other one that was attacked recently? You
said The Matrix.
The Matrix was an allegory for transgenderism.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think this one was primarily attacked, at least recently, because the announcement came out not too long ago that there was going to be a 4K release of this film.
Right.
So naturally, it put it in the crosshairs yet again of this crowd. So let's revisit the problematic nature of this movie that came out 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
300's depiction of good versus evil is overly racist by having white be inherently good while people of color are inherently bad, and also enforces the growing, untrue notion that foreigners entering a white country are to be feared and attacked. Harmful representation like that can support the false notion that it's right to fear immigrants that want to take over your land, especially immigrants of color. These films' harmful depictions, this is literal stuff in history, of race promotes the idea that racist ideologies are a way to protect a morally superior way of life. James, do you have any comment on this?
I think it was just boiling down to is with the SJWs, Hollywood's becoming woke and, movies with good storylines and good characters are out the window now because they're looking to fill, they're trying to get ethnic directors and, women directors kind of like Star Wars. They had all female directors that Kathleen Kennedy was bringing on, and I mean it shouldn't matter what ethnicity or what your gender is. If you can write a good story and you can have good characters, that shouldn't matter.
Yep, agreed.
So that's my take on it.
Right.
It's all coming down. It's all falling down or starting to show signs of falling down.
Well, I'd say with this specifically, this isn't really Hollywood. Like CBR doesn't represent Hollywood, right? It's just a article company or something that just tries to do news and media. They're just, I don't know. I've never heard Hollywood people specifically saying that 300's problematic, just the articles. Unless Mara, was there anyone else that said anything, or was it mostly just this kind of article or people on Twitter.
This person claims that like critics were saying the same thing back then, and I'm trying to rack my brain from like 15 years ago, and there were people I would say that were complaining about like this stuff, but they were the minority. Majority of people were like, I like the movie or I don't like the movie, and here's why, and they would have legitimate reasons either way.
Yeah, some people didn't like the style back then with the way that it's all dim kind of. Some people don't like just the amount of gore and violence that's in it, I guess.
Like those would be like legitimate reasons. Those would be like solely based around your preference for the film. It points out that Zack Snyder purposely used green screens and CGI to mimic the pages in the comic. There are literally scenes where he pulls from the comic itself into the film, like the shot of the Spartans and King Leonidas watching the ships go down. That's I think actually pulled from the comic.
And that was a good shot too. So I didn't even know that it was based on a comic at first, really. So that actually makes more sense to the style, to why it was done that way.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I ever heard about it when it first came out was that there were some people complaining that it was too bloody or gory, and then others complained that, it was sexist. But there was is a very small minority of people.
Where does something sexist happen in here? I mean, as far as what would be depicted as sexist, like I know that the one dude kind of has his way with the queen, but that's depicted as not good. So
yeah, well, the argument was that the men took off their shirts, but the women didn't.
Usually,
that's weird. Okay.
Usually, it's okay. All right.
Sexist.
I guess well, no, because there's a naked chick kind of in there at one point.
Yeah, the Oracle. The Oracle. Yeah.
The token Oracle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was white? Who was pale? She was like super white.
Yeah.
But
naked Oracle.
Yeah, this one was like this one gave me an aneurysm.
Yeah, I can see why. I mean, just hearing this, I think I saw Red Gaze's video on it first, and it's just like I'm like, is this like that seems like those old blogs. Like on actual blog sites that they just go, look, this is my thoughts on something. Isn't it deep? And it's like, no,
really not.
And when they say that, I wish they'd reference more things to actually understand what it is. Well, like how you pointed out, it's not foreigners coming in like as refugees or anything. It's like, no, they're coming to take over your lands and, do stuff with the women and kill the men and all like, they're like, no, screw that. We don't want that. It's not, hey, let's have some tea. No, that's not. And even if it was, they have the right to say, no, screw off.
If this woman actually knew anything about history that, she claims she knows, and granted, I don't expect anybody to know everything about history, but I've always been fascinated with the classical part of history. And if she knew anything about Spartan culture, then she would actually respect it because they actually trained women in combat. Not necessarily alongside the men, but to the point where they were the last line of defense.
Right, so they're meant to be they're meant to protect the kids and protect the last things because they send all the men out into battle. But they don't want them to just be defenseless after that. It's like no. You got to be able to do some push-ups and pull yourself up.
Like the women were just as badass. The women were just as badass as the men. They could handle themselves. So if the men fell, and the invading army got to the point where they were right outside their gates, the women could take him on. That's how badass the Spartans were.
That's awesome. That's real strength. That's real strength.
Yeah. But no, but the Spartans are problematic. So.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So real quick, Jeremy 5 Russia approved. What's up, dude? It's a new Jeremy account I haven't seen before. What's up? He could just be somebody else around here that we know very well. What's up, Lady Tariel? Hope that you guys are enjoying this so far. Rev Kev says, hey, everyone. Hope you're having a great evening. And it's funny. It just kind of makes me want to watch 300 again with what it was. That was one of the films that Zack Snyder does that I've liked since the beginning. I remember it came out in 2007 or 8, and I was in middle school, and me and a buddy were able to see it And we're just like the parent just dropped us off, paid for the tickets, and kind of go inside. The people at the theater didn't care. Like, yeah, it's a freaking badass movie. You should do it. You should see it at that age. And we're just like, oh yes, it just makes us want to go like on a trampoline and get some stick things, and try to do the same stuff. It's like even if it's like I have criticisms of it, but the style works for what he's trying to do. It makes it really good. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, it's like it came out in 2007. Because I think I was coming back from one of my, was it first deployments or second? I don't know, but I was coming back from one of my deployments, and my dad and brothers are like, "You have to see this movie. You have to see this movie."
Yes.
I'm like, okay. And like first thing I saw was like washboard abs. I'm like, okay, I'm hooked. Pretty much. What's this movie?
I'm not sure I've heard that many women complain about the movie either. So
no, and like the author says like that she brings like in a brief sentence like Middle Eastern, and I'm like, I'm half Middle Eastern, bitch. I love this movie.
Where in the Middle East is your family from?
The only two that I know for sure based on like the DNA test my mom did is Syria and Turkish.
It's awesome. I'm part Lebanese also.
I heard from one of my relatives that we might have some Lebanese in us because there have been like stories, but I don't know. It's more like stories from like passed down, so I can't verify that, but definitely those two. So yeah, like I'm in the same region as that.
Yeah, the Mediterranean. That's crazy.
Yeah,
cool. I never would have guessed. That's awesome.
I think it looked more like the European side, pretty much. So
yeah. What are you saying, James?
I said I'm a Polish Indian.
Nice.
I'm
I might
half Polish and half Indian.
I might have like less than 1% Indian or something, or Asian, because my eyes squint a lot sometimes when they're wide open for me, but they look all squinty. So I don't know. That's based on nothing. I had a relative that was kind of Native American at some point, but I don't know. Loosely related.
I also like to point out to SJWs that, like, not necessarily verifying this, like, is actually the case, but that based on logical assumptions based on the DNA test, that my mom found out she was Italian Greek heritage as well. And my dad thinks that we might be descended from Crusaders on her side because the region where my mom is from in Syria, there's a Crusader castle still standing. It's like a Christian enclave.
Oh.
So my dad thinks that, like, her relatives, her ancestors settled there in Syria, and that's where the Arabic side came from.
Wow, nice.
That's awesome. I tried to learn some Arabic. I think last year, it was around summer of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I got that like little app. I can't remember what you call it. It was like Rosetta Stone, but it was a free app or whatever. You could just pick one thing. Man, I can't. It's impossible. I don't know how anyone could ever learn Arabic. There's a lot of
pretty much.
Yeah.
My dad taught himself it a little bit because he was originally going to like a seminary school before he decided it wasn't for him. So he had to study classic Greek and Hebrew. So he kind of taught himself a little bit of Arabic also because like that and like my mom's side of the family. Because I think somewhere we have my Situ, my grandmother, my mom's side, Quran somewhere that she like was passed down from like from her father to her, and then like we have it.
That would be interesting to thumb through. Is that the name for grandmother in Syrian? Situ?
Oh, that's what I learned. Situ, Sittoo, I think that's what I learned when I was growing up. So that's why I differentiated it.
I've called my Lebanese grandmother Siti my whole life, so it's
close. Yeah,
very close. Yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be part Swedish, but I don't ever want to try to talk Swedish, so not happening. Anyway,
the only Swedish I know is the only Swedish chef from Muppets. That's about Swiss far.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But all right. So our next topic.
Love that.
I love that too, man. DC's future. All right. That's pretty much the basis of the topic here. And that's mostly because I look at their TV shows that they have, the many different ones, and some that are in the same universe. Their movies that they've had over the last quite a few years, and in the DCEU. Their comic stuff, just got a bunch of layoffs. And, I have no idea what they're doing. When was the last time they came out with a game or a game that people liked? Was it Injustice 2 maybe? I don't remember. I don't know. It's been very all over the place, it kind of feels, at least to me, with DC. And I'm curious where they're going to go. What should they do? I guess should be the question that we can talk about. What should they do? So, let's start with TV, because they've got their show like Gotham, which a lot of people seem to like. There's a couple seasons of that. Then there's the Arrowverse that has 8 shows, and there's a bunch more coming, and they're all on their 8 seasons, and it's ridiculous with that. So, Flip, what do you? I know that we talked about this sometimes on previous streams, but so I guess with their TV shows, has there been things that you like, and is there anything that you think they should focus on going forward with TV shows?
As a consumer, I'm just the type of guy who doesn't like the low budget TV stuff. As a business person, I think they should continue with a successful model. So some of their TV stuff should continue, and that's cool. I think they should moderate it a little bit. Maybe don't try and encompass the Flash and Superman and Batman and Arrowverse and all this together again, because it got a little convoluted, and I think that's putting it mildly. There were some good parts to it, I guess, and there were some pluses that came out of it. Brennan Ralph as Superman again was very good to see. And as far as that goes, that's just TV. As far as the movies, I like the idea of the Flash 2022 with Michael Keaton being in it. I think that's something you really should pursue. And as I understand it, if Michael Keaton isn't in it, they're gonna or won't do it, because he has a caveat. He wants Tim Burton to direct the following movie, which would be Batman Beyond, and he would be in that as well. But as far as Ben Affleck coming back, that's not going to happen. And if Keaton won't do it, they're going to try and jump to Christian Bale. So, as far as movies go, that's I think they're on the right track there. But what worries me, and maybe you guys might feel the same, is that without Ben Affleck, but having a successful Aquaman and a successful Wonder Woman, can Flashpoint fix it all? And should they even go that route? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have a lot to say on this, so I'm going to wait to really respond, I suppose. James, what do you think? What's your take here?
I'm not really in the loop with DC, but I will say that everything anymore seems like a reboot of a reboot, and they just keep bringing back the same characters. There's nothing really new, so that's just my take on it.
I gotcha. I understand.
A lot of reboots.
Yeah, true. So, Mara, you're more. Have you watched the Arrowverse shows?
I really have not watched any of the TV shows because I generally avoid CW like the plague.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. So because they generally start good, and then when they move to the CW, then it all goes to shit pretty much.
That's a good description of of their shows, because I wasn't aware of how bad CW was really when I got into watching Arrow, because it's on Netflix, and I was like, oh, this is I guess I'll see what this show is, and I liked it. First season was great, second season was great, third season half of it was great, the other half was garbage. There's things in season 4 that are okay, but that's more into bits and pieces rather than the whole thing, and it just should have stopped around there. But then they have their spin-off ones with the Flash, and then Supergirl, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and all these other ones, and it's like, man, I don't know. They not. It's only one thing having one garbage show, I guess, and then having 8 at the same time that are in the same universe that cross over characters and episodes and actors, and that's the most ridiculous thing I've seen, to be honest. Because there'll be people that are in one show that get killed, and then they're in the same actors in another show in that same universe technically, and I'm just like, huh? Okay.
They're trying to do kind of a multiverse approach with their TV shows, and It can be done, but at the same time, they don't know how to do it properly.
The way I would do it is literally I've said this before, like the Arrow should have been 5 to 6 seasons tops, being the first one that they started with, and then end it at 5 or 6. And if you had they had the spinoff Flash show by around season 2 of Arrow, he can cross over into the Flash's show. So I think Flash should have only gone like 4 seasons. And point being, they can have spinoffs of the shows, but only go for a couple seasons on each new show. So, and if they wanted to cameo in the other ones or a little bit here and there, that's the extent. But don't have eight shows going on at the same time, all crossing over along the way. That's too freaking crazy.
Yeah.
So, and as far as the movies, I'm one of those release the Snyder Cut heathens, pretty much. So, yeah. So I wasn't really. I feel like the mess that DC's in as far as their movies goes is because they decided to, like, they gave a contract to Zack Snyder. Then they got scared with a couple bad focus groups for like the first 2 films, which was Man of Steel and BVS. So they shifted entirely to say, hey, well, let's kind of make ourselves look like Marvel sort of situation. So when Zack Snyder had to leave for what would have been his Justice League, now we got Justice League because they brought Whedon in. And what did Whedon do? He did the Avengers movies. And so now we had a totally different approach from the first 2 films to this film. Then you look at Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and they kind of at least Wonder Woman has a similar tone to what Zack Snyder was going for, because he's the one who brought Gal Gadot in. He was the one who was helping Patty Jenkins produce Wonder Woman. So those are kind of in the same area. Aquaman, I think, and Justice League is where they kind of started deviating in the Marvel territory. And what I would have done if I had been Warner Brothers is I would have let Zack Snyder finish his 5-movie arc, because it's like a 5-movie contract, then use the Flash for his solo film, create a Flashpoint, and set yourself apart from Marvel by being the first cinematic multiverse.
Could have been a new angle they could have done. If they wanted to do a different Superman or Batman or whatever, they technically could.
Yeah, because that's the point of their Flash film, I think, right now, is to kind of course correct their own mistakes, pretty much.
Right. Even though they technically still would have been second to doing that to Days of Future Past, like the X-Men kind of did that. But
yeah, they kind of did that, but then they could have said, okay, so if you like Snyder's films, here's Snyder's films. If you like these films, here are these films. And, what we've been doing for years, and that is, oh, my Batman is Keaton, my Batman is Bale, my Batman is this. It's like you have a Batman, you have a character arc, or I should say storyline in comic book and movies that people prefer over others. So it wouldn't be really any different. But they got scared. Yeah.
That'd be actually a cool way of doing it, by having one director's style kind of fit their universe of movies, and then to have some way to do the next one. And if they want to have a movie where they cross over, why not? They can. But that'd be kind of interesting, because before there was 40 Batman movies. I don't know. I don't know how many movies there were that were just Batman's.
I got a confession, guys.
Batman, I would argue,
I'm
Batman. DC, pretty much. I mean, Superman is a big character, but if you were DC, I think people's first thoughts would be Batman. He is kind of the face of DC Comics, I would say right now.
Yeah, that kind of goes into what I was saying, Mara. How do you have success with Wonder Woman and Aquaman and possibly a Flash movie and not have Affleck in it? How are they going to do this?
I think Affleck would come back if for 2 reasons. One, if Zack Snyder asked him, and if Affleck were certain that Jeff Johns wouldn't interfere. From what I'm hearing, there was a lot of studio interference, and part of that was Jeff Johns in the Justice League film. So if he had those, how do I say it? Incentives, I guess, to come back. Plus, hearing that his script was actually very, very good, the Batman script that he wrote, maybe we could actually see his that movie he wrote for the Batman come to light, because then we would have Deathstroke on film, because it was supposed to be Batman versus Deathstroke and then set in Arkham Asylum.
Which they alluded to in Suicide Squad. Is that right?
No, is at the end of Batman vs Superman, I think.
Um,
or was it? Yeah, maybe it was Suicide Squad. Maybe it was Suicide Squad.
I can't remember one of them, yeah, but also Deathstroke appeared at the end of Justice League.
That's probably where we saw Deathstroke for the first time.
Yeah, and then what was supposed to happen is you were supposed to have the Batman solo film, which was supposed to be Affleck, but then because of what happened to him, which I put very much full blame mainly on the Warner Brothers shoulders, and that's why we got the Pattinson Batman coming right now.
Right.
Which I'm still interested in, but we would have had an Affleck Batman.
Michael Keaton is my Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Pretty good one. This would be interesting. This would impress me if they did this. If they, because I can't see them doing this actually, Marvel or DC, like committing to a movie that is small scale. Like the way you said it, we're having Batman versus Deathstroke, and it's at Arkham Asylum. I'm not imagining a big, super just big battle. I'm imagining like a small, tight battle, which that'd be interesting to see nowadays because we get so much of the, like Wonder Woman was good, but I hated the final battle. It was just like, I didn't really care about that. It was just like throwing around. I mean, they can be fine, but I feel like the more of those you do, the less interesting it is. Kind of like seeing the huge hordes of armies clash. Sometimes it can be done well to look good, but other times it's like, okay, we're doing that again, and it's like, what are they going to do that's going to make it different? I don't know, but doing it small and tight, I feel would be a cool run for an actual one of their films. But what do you think?
I would have very much looked forward to it because it would have been proof, I think, that you don't need a comic book movie, like specifically to be on a grand scale, like, shall we say, Infinity War and Endgame. And that is, your characters sell it. The plot sells it. And if you do it well, it doesn't matter if it's on a big scale or not. And the fact it would have been set in Arkham Asylum, which we have, other than Batman Begins, that I recall, have really yet to see on the big screen. Like, they touched on Arkham Asylum, I think, in Batman Begins because you had the Scarecrow in there.
Yeah.
As kind of like a plot device, a MacGuffin, if you will.
Did the Joker, the solo Joker that came out like last year, was that technically Arkham, or does that count?
I don't think it was Arkham. It didn't feel like Arkham. It didn't look like Arkham. It didn't feel like Arkham. I think it was just
Gotham, but
yeah, it was just like a run-of-the-mill, not an asylum necessarily, more like a clinic that it ended in. Because it really didn't feel like an asylum. Like the time that it actually felt like that was in Batman Begins because of Scarecrow.
Right.
So
that makes sense. But I don't know. I just feel like, man, DC has so much options they can do. And what I like it to see about it, I'm sure you guys have used these references before too. It's like, rivals make for good content because without it, then, there's really no competition. There's nothing pushing you to do better with it. And the way Marvel is, I wish that Marvel could change up some of their style too and do some different genre types of movies and not have it feel the same exactly throughout, because it gets a little, so they start to feel like the same movies almost, just in a different location. And I feel like DC has the opportunity where they could even be on an alien world if they want, make it a little crazy looking, but it could still make it a tight movie. That's what I want to see. Do something fantastic, but or like fantasy-ish, but tight. Doesn't have to be grand scale, a huge army, the world and galaxies at stake. Like, can you just have a small stake and still fight over it? I don't know. And I guess
change it up. Don't always revisit the same characters, same places. Do new stories, new characters.
Well, I'm hoping that the success of Zack Snyder's Justice League will open it up for new characters, because Martian Manhunter was supposed to be not necessarily seen, but revealed in his movie, as well as Green Lantern.
Right. Well, I mean, they like you mean like a real like on-screen character rather than like the brief flashback for 2 seconds.
Yeah, well, like I don't know if we would actually have seen him as Green Lantern, but there was supposed to be. I feel like in another like feel like it's Hal Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
We would see another another iteration of Hal Jordan, actually a proper one. I would hazard to say, and we were supposed to see him in Justice League. Now, whether we would have seen him as Green Lantern, I don't know because I don't know all the scenes he filmed. But the guy who was cast worked out, definitely was supposed to be in the scene. If you remember the trailer where Cyborg shoot, like there's a car flying towards this cop, and Cyborg shoots it and like splits it in two to save him.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to where we see the military, and we're supposed to see a guy that is, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, going to be Green Lantern, sort of situation.
Right, John Stewart, I assume.
It's Hal. We said Hal Jordan because the guy they cast was white. So.
I thought John Stewart was the military guy.
They're both military guys, but what this could do is at least pave the way for a Green Lantern Corps, which we would then see other Green Lanterns to include John Stewart.
Right. Do you think that they could do a Green Lantern movie and do it well?
I think they could. I mean, I have like a fool's hope, a little bit of optimism. They could. Like the source material is there. It's just, I don't know what they were thinking with the first one, but I'm waiting to see what this guy is like in the Justice League movie that comes out next year. Because if he pulls it off, then yeah, I could see them doing a good Green Lantern film.
See, I think they could too, and I'd actually like them to do it kind of like a Star Wars approach. Like you take, the man, he's not on a farm in the desert, but he's on Earth, backwater in the galaxy anyway, and introduce him to the bigger scale universe, and get to see the stuff kind of gradually grow in intensity or something. Or you start with it like that, somebody's chasing a Green Lantern and goes into the story and has the journey start. Right? Isn't that kind of how Green Lantern starts anyway? It was like Green Lantern.
The ring finds you, like the ring like finds the person most worthy to wear it. So it'd be basically his journey, becoming literally Green Lantern, like the ring finding it, like which was like what the first movie was supposed to be.
Right.
But I don't know if we'll actually see his journey because, like I said, I don't know if we're going to see him as Green Lantern or not, or just as him being there as Hal Jordan. Like, oh, okay, I know who you become later on down the road, sort of situation. Like with Martian Manhunter, I don't know how much we're going to see of him because it's supposed to be kind of a reveal, but not necessarily him being on screen necessarily as Martian Manhunter in Martian Manhunter's capacity.
Right, which I feel like Martian Manhunter would be tougher to do on screen, I suppose, because he's a shape-shifting alien. But that'd be interesting to see them pull off.
It would be interesting to see him pull off. Plus, like, he's basically as powerful as Superman, but like he's not well known.
Right, and his weaknesses are he has a few more weaknesses, right? Like fire.
A few more weaknesses. But people are like, oh, Martian Manhunter, that's a stupid name. Like, well, he's a pretty badass character because he could rival Superman if he wanted to.
Right.
Yeah. Character trials and progressions important for a good character.
Yeah. So there's like I feel like they could take Justice League if AT&T were smart. They could take Justice League and at least use it as the center of like what are those charts called where like the lines come out like the circles like here and there like all over the place or like but they connect to like one
like a diagram.
Like a diagram, like one of those types of diagrams where it's like here's the epicenter right here, Justice League.
Right.
Okay, up there you have Aquaman's arc, and then over here you have Wonder Woman's like arc kind of a situation, and then over here you have Green Lanterns, and then add in the other characters that we know are part of Justice League that are on.
Right, that would be good. I think so. Like I said, I think it'd be kind of cool to see it do them like start it in a Star Wars way if they want. Start it low key on Earth, like with Batman, and then you do another one where it's increasing the level a little bit more with a different character, and then start going into space with Green Lantern or something like we've seen, and do it with characters maybe that we haven't seen too much of, so that it'd be able to get us ready for it. Yeah. This kind of brings me into the last little part with DC stuff. So Flip, I forget. Do you play video games that often?
I used to. Not so much.
Did you ever play like a DC game, like a Batman or Superman game or anything?
Yeah, the Batman Telltale. Was that one? Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Was Injustice 2 the last game they came out with, guys? I forget. Like they don't make that many video games, do they?
Yeah, I think Injustice 2 was the last one, and then before that were the Batman games, because they're coming out with another Batman. They're coming out with 2 games that they're going to announce at Fandom. One which will be a Batman game.
Of course. Do you think they have a lot of, I guess, starting with Flip, do they have a lot of potential with the video games, or that's just kind of like a background thing they can throw out every now and then, or do you think they could get more fans interested in the DC characters if they, maybe have a game showcasing different ones, or, doing another, maybe not a Justice League, but something similar kind of sections? What do you think?
I think they had a lot of luck with the Arkham series. Those were amazing games. I would take them up a notch, personally. But I mean, I think you need to improve upon every iteration of movie, comic, TV series that you do. Like you said, you're tired of seeing the armies all fight the armies, and how we're going to do this again. Is something going to be different? I think that they should, in anything that they do, whether it be Injustice 3 or Arkham 3 or whatever they end up doing, Telltale's 5. They just kind of improve it. And as a matter of fact, one of the biggest things, and this goes across all things, not just comics or movies or video games, it goes across all of them. I think that they need to have some consistency, because I want my Batman to be the same Batman and in all of these things. I had that problem growing up. I was like, okay, Michael Keaton, 89, I'm in. The next, the sequel had Michael Keaton, great, I'm in it. The next one had Val freaking Kilmer. I'm like, what? That's not Batman. And anyway, I bought Christian Bale because enough time had went by, and I liked him. But then they went with Affleck, and I'm like, okay, he's fine. That's cool. I'm in. Now no more of him. I just want some consistency personally. And I really love what they're doing with Aquaman and Wonder Woman. And hopefully they can figure out this Flash thing. But without Batman, they really should just start over, in my opinion. But
yeah, I mean, maybe some big news will drop, and we'll find out. Hey, AT came in and cleaned house, and they're like, you wanted this Batman film? Oh, here you go. It's going to be like, we're going to start here for a situation. If they drop that news, you're going to have a collective nerdgasm across the board from people. They've been wanting it so long. It's basically like COVID had nothing on this news, pretty much.
Oh man, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So it's like,
I never saw it, but that Joker was a big hit. They should make a Joker video game.
Maybe. I don't really see him as like a playable character, though. Really, he's just more of a just kind of a crazy guy, a guy becoming crazy in the movie. But I see what you mean, though. That'd be kind of cool. But, what if they made like a Justice League type of game universe where you do one game as Batman, you do another game as Superman, another one as the Green Lantern, you change up the type of things in your games, and then you make one Justice League game that, takes elements from each of them and kind of makes its own combined one finally or something, Again, a video game universe. That'd be kind of different, I guess.
That could work, considering that the one of the games that's going to be announced at Fandom, at least more details, is the Rocksteady Suicide Squad game, because I believe in that game you play as a character from the Suicide Squad, and you're taking on the Justice League.
Right.
Fallon said a psychological thriller. That'd be kind of cool.
No, it could be. I mean, I'm reading I got to really catch up on my crap, but this comic series called Criminal Sanity, it basically follows Harley Quinn, but she's more of a forensic like a CSI person, and she's trying to figure out who's committing these murders. And it's supposed to kind of be another way of telling the Joker Harley Quinn story. But I need to catch up. I need to get the fourth one.
Yeah,
Four.
and it's like a new way of
Yeah. So I think like in a way it could work, but I don't know. Like it would have to be like one of those where you like choice games where you're like in a situation and you have to like kind of like choose, and like the certain choices you make are either keep you sane or take you down the path of insanity.
That kind of gives me an idea. What if you can play a DC game or even a Marvel game or something where you like play as just insert average citizen yourself into this world, and you start out with like nothing as anything, and but there's like already Batman's around and Superman. There's all these battles going around. Starts out with you maybe trying to avoid getting destroyed by their stuff, and then at some point your character has to make a choice to become a hero or a villain or something, and then you can start down the journey of becoming your own vigilante or villain, and maybe you search for something to get you superpowers off the market, or you end up just trying to do it the old-fashioned way. That'd be kind of interesting, I guess. And then you run into Batman at some point when you try stopping a villain, and it's like, hey, what are you doing, man? It's like, hey, I'm the next hero on the block, man. What are you doing?
It'd almost be like DC game GTA style, pretty much.
It's kind of like that. I'm kind of mixing that and KOTOR,
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic meets GTA with DC. Like that'd be a interesting style.
You're
It's like you're in the middle of
stealing
seeing Brainiac.
Batman's car.
Yep, exactly. Or you like see the Justice League struggling with Brainiac, and then a superhero Joe comes down below. I'm gonna do something to him, spray him with water, and it's like, oh shoot, thank you, Joe. I don't know, something like that. I guess they did. They kind of try to show like that Powerless. I think. Well, wasn't that like with Vanessa Hudgens, and they tried to have like Bruce Wayne's brother or cousin or something? It was like trying to make like all these devices to survive the superhero battles from above or something. You guys remember that show?
Vaguely remember it.
Yeah, they like made an umbrella that can withstand one like block of rebel hitting on you, but then it's broken and useless after that. So it's like you get one, or like
wisely,
like a pants parachute or something. If you get tossed out of a building, you can maybe get yourself not die when you hit the ground. I guess that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody watched it, but
yeah,
interesting premise. Like I said, it wouldn't be entertaining as a show, but it'd be kind of funny to play around with in a game, and then improve from that, of course.
Yeah,
but all right. So I think we'll be closing it up right about now. You said that you're a little tired with this, so we'll be closing out now. And do you guys want to talk about some celebrity stuff, or just kind of end it here?
What celebrity stuff?
Well, because there wasn't anything specific. It was just more like Alyssa Milano, Gina, and stuff. Like there's some celebrities that try to do something good late. Like ever since the C virus has hit, there's been like behaviors that are like ridiculous and some that are normal, but they're being received a bunch of crap, But there wasn't anything specific. I guess it's just the state of celebrities going insane. Like it's kind of interesting. I feel like the C virus is affecting them way worse than the average citizen, but not in the way that like is they're not doing good mentally. They're falling apart. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They have all the stuff. They have more than what they need. Financially. So they're fine in that sense. But like their brains are just not able to cope. I don't know what. I assume they're all out of work. I don't know.
Well, you've seen the Madonna bathtub thing, I guess.
No, I haven't. I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, she sings in the bathtub, and she makes some really poor remarks about how the virus is a good thing, and really, basically, I hadn't seen her in decades, man. To be honest with you, and oh my God, has she got a lot of plastic surgery? Wow, I was surprised. See, Rookie handed me these topics, so I started delving into this as you do,
Mm-hmm.
And, holy crap. I would be just embarrassed. I mean, you got to look it up. You really have to.
Doing that right now. Lady Gaga.
Yes, it's a good thing. Madonna in bathtub. Then there was Ellen's handled everything really poorly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think they've like always been mentally unstable to a degree, and I think that's kind of just pushed them over that edge.
Yeah, they are.
They're like already teetering on pretty much.
When I type up Lady Gaga in bathtub, apparently there's multiple occasions where she's in a bathtub. It says she's in one in The Star Is Born. It says Lady Gaga.
No,
in 20, it says in
No.
2019, Lady Gaga posts nude bathtub pics on Bad Romance.
Rookie Madonna.
Madonna, dude.
Oh, Madonna? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Lady Gaga.
No.
Gaga, Madonna.
What?
What's the difference? I don't know. They're both Italian.
Okay, thank you for the correction. Okay, there we go. It says watch Madonna's bizarre quarantine bathtub talk. Oh, on YouTube. Hey, what do you know? Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
It's pretty strange.
Oh, there's an actual video for it?
Yeah, put it up, man.
Like they like a YouTube. Oh my god. I don't know if they take my channel down or take the stream down like they always do on the full Aussie. How often do they get shut down?
What did they hit? 7 times.
Oh, geez.
They've been good. They've been good recently.
I mean, she's clearly fully nude here, but there's no actual like nudity of the
Right.
body
They don't
parts.
show the
But yeah, she looks
that.
like a doll come to life here. Jesus, doll come to life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll just do a quick snap and then run away, so people can see for a sec.
Yeah.
All right, so you get 5 seconds. So 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5. Okay,
The virus is fun. It's okay. It's good for us.
normal. Okay. All right. Yeah, and I don't know. I guess.
Make it stop.
What was that, James?
Make it stop, I think.
I said, make it stop.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem.
She
Yeah, I guess.
doesn't look like herself in that picture. I'm like, that is not Madonna. But it's like one of those where it's like, that's not Madonna, but then I can see Madonna peeking out from under all that plastic surgery.
Right. She's trapped within this. Somebody, put her in this shell, and she can't escape.
Pretty much.
I wouldn't have guessed that was her.
When you watch the whole thing, before she gets in the tub, she starts singing, and it's really bad. Like, without all those machines, maybe it's all the smoking her whole life or whatever. Her voice was she sounded really bad. It's interesting to watch. It's almost cringy. It is.
She'll be interesting to see when she's 65. Like,
Oh, Lord.
see how she is.
Yeah.
Back in those days, I was in the Super Bowl, and I was the halftime big shot. Nobody could top me. Remember when I was new to the bathtub during quarantine? Wasn't I great? I looked fantastic, just like I do now. That was full 5 years younger. Is that a good old lady smoker voice?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
I just tried that now, so that's good. Oh boy, yeah. I guess we can just pretty much end it there. I mean, yeah, there wasn't anything specific. I mean, a while ago, Gina Carano's stuff. She's trying to. Okay, she just highlights a normal thing, and then everybody just attack her for nothing. And it's like she had like back the fuck off. All right, that's example of celebrity with the sane mind. And then Alyssa Milano. I didn't really look at all of her stuff, but I've vaguely seen it over the last couple of weeks. She's slowly going crazy. Like,
Oh yeah, she's one of the ones like that's always been crazy, but like now she's claiming she had the C virus, but then it's like people are like, but you were fine here, but you're saying you had it like then, and like, so which is it? Pretty much, and I don't believe a word that comes out of that woman's mouth, quite frankly, to include a and the.
right. And one of the ones that can't keep a story straight at all.
No. I think that she's trying to regain relevancy because people are now like turning away, focused away from the virus itself, and then I don't know. I'm trying to move on, but she doesn't want us to move on.
God, see, it's so ridiculous because like I only have one example of an actor doing something that you should be doing around these times. Jason David Frank, the Green Power Ranger, he's I mean, it's a futile attempt but he's he does some fan things for just fan videos that he posts on YouTube. He does poems on his YouTube channel. He shoots some footage where he's backstage on a set doing something. And right now he's going to comic shops. He loves comic books, and they're really in the tanker right now. I mean, it's a futile attempt to save them, but he's trying to make appearances to get people to go to the comic shops and, see him, get a comic, get an autograph, all that. And, but he's not doing anything negative, never attacks a fan, never responds horribly to fans with anything. And, that seems like a good example, a role model of how to act as an actor, especially during these times. And he still finds ways to get work, it seems. And he did some live streams on Instagram, calling up ex Power Rangers, ex actors that were on the shows that people would like and see that. And it's like, why don't we have some other actors now? They want to hook up with some old friends, do something. I heard some people are trying to put together, some celebrities are trying to put together a Princess Bride fan made film thing. It's like not an official anything, but just for fun. Like, that's what they should kind of be doing right now instead of being crazy. That's what we'd like to see anyway.
I'd like to see Bryan Cranston get involved in that. Maybe do some YouTube Mighty Morphin Power Rangers stuff. That'd be awesome.
That'd be kind of funny. That'd be funny to see Cranston doing the Princess Bride one as the inconceivable guy. Too. That'd be kind of funny.
That'd be great. He fits the part.
Yeah, but any other things on celebrities, or you guys good to go?
I'm pretty much good to go. I don't pay attention to anything they really say anymore.
Right.
Unless it's like centered on. I've been primarily covering DC news, so unless it's centered on that, I don't pay attention to what they say.
Right. Yeah. When you start going in that rabbit hole, it's not fun. It's like, okay, can I leave? Or am I trapped?
Dude, that's totally what I did when you gave me this topic to look up. I went in the rabbit hole and I was clawing my way out after 5 minutes. I was like, no.
I could see why. I just typed in Lady Gaga, and there's like 4 different accounts where she does nude stuff. And I'm like, what?
Your computer and be like, what's he looking up nude Lady Gaga for?
I just said Lady Gaga bathtub. I didn't even say nude. That just nude was just coming up with all the things. But I guess with that, James Clark, is there any things that you want to say, or you can go ahead and shout out your channel for people? Go ahead, man.
Appreciate that. I do art streams random on the weekend. I'll do paint. Thank you, Flip. I paint custom acrylics. Basically, all I need is a photograph, and I can replicate either a book cover or whatever have you, whatever theme you have. I can replicate that in acrylic painting, and I also do inks, sketches. My website is clarkart, CLARKART custom.com, where you can check out my photo gallery. And thanks for posting my card. And like I said, I do random art streams, and every once in a while I change it up and do some karaoke for fun. But that's pretty much my thing.
We need to get together.
Thanks for having me on, fella.
We need to do some Alice in Chains karaoke together, bro.
It's on.
Some who and who?
Alice in Chains. Ah!
Nice.
Favorite band.
And with that, Mara Jade Shadow, if you want to give your own channel a shout out or any upcoming projects that you got going forward, let us know.
Okay, so my YouTube channel is Jade Shadow. I am also dipping my toes into the Twitch realm. I've been streaming Ghost of Tsushima on my Twitch channel, Jade_Fire. But as far as my YouTube channel is, the only things I really have planned as of now, because I don't plan videos. I really only go off of any news that's, I guess, in a way breaking. Like, this video today, hadn't planned it until I saw the article this morning. But I'm planning on doing a live stream tomorrow to also cover some more of the DC news, particularly the layoffs that happened and what that could mean. Also for DC's future, particularly with the comics division. And then Saturday, I do a live stream with Lethal Lightning called The Nerdy and Lethal at 10 p.m. Eastern. And after that, I generally jump on the Geek Plans channel for the Raging Geek Jedi show. So those are the really only, like, I should say, steady things I have on my channel as of now, like live streams. So they don't plan around videos. But if all goes well with my internet, you could also find me Friday evening at some point late in the evening streaming Ghost of Tsushima on my Twitch channel. That's my plan.
Nice, like that, nice and steady. Do you have any other plans going forward with your channel, like in 6 months or so? If things are going right, are you gonna? Is there something you want to add or share now, or keep that?
I'm like not necessarily like planned, but because I'm getting back into gaming more frequently, I feel like I will start branching out and talking about gaming news. Like right now, I've also been covering the Cyberpunk 2077 game, any like those features and things like that. So I feel like if all goes well with that topic, probably even maybe stream some games on the YouTube channel, like like do a combination of Twitch and YouTube, if all goes well. But as of now, it's like just live streams and whatever news breaks that I cover, such as DC news.
Okay, sounds good. I like that. That's great. Link to your channel is in the description below for Jade Shadow. Nice rising one. You peaked over 2,000 recently, right? Or yeah, heading on to 3,000 now.
Almost, yeah. Slow, steady climb so far. And thank you, Naughty Dog, for that. You helped me get a lot of subs when you copyright struck my channel.
Yeah, I saw that. I like that rise. When there's something negative, when one door closes, another one opens. Whichever philosopher says that, I don't know, but that's pretty much how that works. I like seeing that. Goes up to her, and then flipped out. We're always working on stuff in the background, and we've always got something going on over there. You and I are working hard on getting some stuff out by the end of the month, but it's hard to say if that's going to happen by the end of the month. But September is like our big goal to unveil something we've been working on for everybody in the community, and we want to talk about it more soon, but I'd rather have it be more of a boom surprise on you guys. But other than that, is there anything else that you want to announce for everybody?
Not particularly. You guys stay tuned, especially if you're in the Patreon, to get exclusive content. Fallon is doing the FC podcast. We're going to drop it there first. And he's right. We got something huge for you. It's going to be huge. Huge. That's all I got.
Exactly. Also, watch Flipped Out's latest video where he's like a cop at an alien base. It's like 5 minutes long and it's hilarious. He does a good little skit there.
I love that.
Exactly. I'm hoping that Flip will be able to do what I told him to do a while back with some skits that'll be hilarious, mixing alien content with movies, because that fits.
This guy says to me the other night, he's like, when I first saw you, I thought you like had something to do with aliens. I was like, well, I guess I understand that, in that's my logo, but
his logo was an alien, and then I look on his channel and it's like movie reviews, and I was like, oh, so is it going to be a movie review or like he's an alien reviewing a movie, like a Martian comes to Earth and is like, oh, let's see what the Earthlings have to do for us today. Okay, oh my God, Ghostbusters 2016 or something, and you just review as a Martian, like on my planet this would never be acceptable. There's something you just do something like that. I feel like you could do.
Yeah, I agree. I think I need to step up my alien game.
You could have Martha, the smoker Martian from hell, and she's trying to go see how little Jimmy's doing on his reviews, but the bastard needs to get a job and get out of here so he knows his movie reviews. Okay.
I'm gonna get you in a wig before it's over with.
Subscribe to our guests, please, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Mongo's big thanks. You rock. Sebastian, Nocturne. That's an awesome name. I thought I said Nochem at first, but now not lately. Fan scene, always kicking butt. Love the dude. He's great. He's fantastic. Tommy's in the chat. Tommy's always been a blast around. He's clone number 8976. That's Fallon Reacts down here. She's also kicking freaking butt. All right, I'm mixing my old lady smoker with Donald Trump now. So with that, I'm going to be trying to have an exit of some kind. Peace.